All right, boys, it is literally 2 a.m. in the morning right now, but I really want to get this message out there. I really want to record this video, so let's fucking go. Fitness is a prerequisite to success, and basically, just to get our definitions clear, what I mean by this is that you need to increase your physical attractiveness, improve your physique, train your body, train your mind, build respect for yourself, build your physique before you're going to be able to see the success that you want, whether that's online business, entrepreneurship, even in your career, your studies, every single area of your life. I do believe that fitness is a prerequisite, something that you must do first before seeing any success. And I'm going to start with my story and explain exactly why I've come to think this way. All right, so in terms of where I started, when I was 12 years old, I had my first business and I was basically reselling Pokemon cards on eBay. This is during the Logan Paul era. And yeah, basically Pokemon cards were booming. I was 12. I was like, I want to make some money. I've always wanted to make money since a young age. So I started selling them and went pretty well. And I don't even know why, but just one day I stopped. After selling, like thousands of pounds worth, 12 years old, I mean, maybe like 1.5K or something like that. Like nothing crazy, but for 12 years old, it's pretty mad. But I just stopped. I don't really know why I stopped. All right. And again, when I was 14 years old, I had a web design business. It was going pretty well, actually. Started making some sales, was doing well. And then I stopped. Why did I stop? I didn't know why I stopped because I was actually seeing some solid success in these areas. When I just stopped, working on it. And it's taken me a couple years now. I'm 16 years old now. And it's taken some time, but I finally realized what the problem was. And the problem was I was not the guy who could fucking do it. All right. Look at this here. And this was me. It's probably me at like 14, maybe 13, 14 years old. This guy was trying to make money. All right. And he was making some money. He wasn't even doing badly, but he quit because he wasn't the guy who could do it. He wasn't in a position to scale a business. He wasn't the guy who could stick to this and make a lot of money. Right? I just wasn't the guy. I didn't have confidence. I was too scared to get on sales calls to sell my websites, which was holding me back. I was just selling through the DMs. There's a limit on that, because people don't want to send you thousands of dollars to pay for a website if you don't even get onto a call with them. I wasn't confident. I didn't have the ability to talk to a camera like I am right now. I was too afraid to get on a call with people from the internet because I wasn't the guy who could do it. All right. This guy here, who is me a few years ago, couldn't do it. He wasn't the guy who could do it. And I had to become the guy who could. All right. And this is what led me to give up entrepreneurship for fitness. And I wouldn't even say this is a conscious decision, but looking back on it now, this is something that I realized that I did, and it actually completely changed my life and changed the trajectory of where I'm going. And basically what happened is I stopped. All right. So after this web design thing, I did a bit of like drop shipping, whatever, minimal success, maybe like one sale, two sales. And I stopped. Just stopped doing it. And instead I just went all in on the gym. Okay. So this is probably me right before I started taking the gym seriously. And this is me today. All right. My back, abs, some credibility. I built a good physique, pretty good physique. And I gave up entrepreneurship for fitness. And it felt pretty shit. I was like, I was the guy, I was feeling pretty good. I was making some good money online and I just stopped. And it's always weighed on me. It's weighed on me for a long time. It's like, I've basically been saying to myself, why haven't I been seeing the progress I want? Why did I stop? Why did I stop trying to make money? Why did I quit this? My mum asked me, why are you spending all your time on fitness now? Well, it's because this is a long game. And I realize this now. I didn't actually realize it at the time. But now that I've actually gone through this transformation, I've realized this is something I had to do. This is a long game. All right. Stop rushing it. All right. Like I see these guys, all of you, maybe you're like 15 years old, 14 years old, and you say, I'm going to make a bunch of money and I'm going to become a millionaire. You're not going to. The truth is, you're not going to because you're not the guy who can do it. You're not the person who can do it. All right. You're from a good situation, middle class family. That's great. You don't have enough drive. You don't have the correct work ethic. You don't have the discipline. You don't have the momentum to be able to actually build a successful business and get some success. Can you do what I did and make some money online? Scam a couple people? Not really scamming, but I didn't really know exactly what I was doing. Yeah, sure. But you're not that person yet. You're not the person who can actually go ahead and turn your effort into some real results and actually make some good money. All right, so this is a really long game. So set yourself up for success. Let's say you want to actually be an entrepreneur. You don't really plan on retiring. Let's say conservatively, you live to 75 years old. Right now, you're 14. You've got what? 61 years left. 61 years. So why don't you spend 1 year? That's all it takes to level up your physique, to build the confidence and become the guy who can do it. All right. Over the last few months, I've gotten back into business. I'm about to take it really seriously. All right. This is going to be my main priority over the next few months. I haven't really been taking it too seriously. I was busy with school and everything. I made some success. It's been going pretty well so far. But I'm going to scale it now. And I know I can do this because I'm now the guy who can do it. All right. I have that. I honestly just kind of have that kind of, what's the word for it? I'm confident in myself. I'm confident in my ability to actually be able to help people, to deliver my service, to actually change people's lives, all right? To give them advice that will help them to improve their physiques, improve their life, all right? Get them to the point. And this is exactly what I do. I help guys just like you, maybe, get to the point where their physique can transform their life, because fitness is the one thing that completely transformed my life, my trajectory, and it will do the exact same thing for you. All right, if you want to know exactly what I do, join my free community, top link in the description. You get all my free frameworks and shit like that. Get my help one-on-one for free. Check that out. It'll be helpful, and yeah, we can chat there. But I became the guy. I became the guy who could do it. I'm not completely satisfied with myself. Of course not. I always have dissatisfaction. I'm never happy with where I'm at. But I'm at a point where I'm confident in my ability. I'm confident in myself, and that it conveys when I go and sell to people, when I actually go into a new endeavor, when I try and pick up a new skill, when I try and start this new business, which I did a couple months ago. All right, it's a long game. Set yourself up for success. All right, instead of rushing into it, thinking, "Yeah, I need to become a millionaire right now," and you're really rushing, you're all tense. Just sit back. All right, relax a bit. Realize that we're young. We're all, bar maybe 0.1%, we're all in pretty comfortable situations. Be grateful for that. Be grateful that your parents, are able. You don't need to go out and work a job or do something like that at a young age. Be grateful the fact that you can even sit and think about, maybe I could start a drop shipping store. All right. Because the people in these third world countries, they don't even have the liberty to sit there and think maybe they want to start a dropship. They would start it. You don't even start it. You just think about it. All right. You have that freedom. And it's a blessing, but it's a curse too, because it holds you back. It's the middle class trap. You don't have enough kind of dissatisfaction, urgency in your life. You have to make a change quickly. You hear all these rags to riches stories because they were in such a bad situation, but they had to get themselves out of there. All right. We've all grown up in a pretty good situation, and that's really nice for us. But it means that we're held back. It means that we don't have that natural drive. Okay, so you need to create it. You need to create the satisfaction. Where better to start than your physique, right? If you're fat, if you're like me, you're skinny. I was like 55 kg in this video, in this photo, sorry. I'm just not the guy who can get the results that I want because I'm not at the point that I need to be. All right. Now I've got a wide fucking back. All right. It's like, how is that related? Well, it is. In my case, I'm actually helping people with fitness. So obviously, it gives me credibility to help people, but it gives you the confidence in yourself. You have confidence in yourself. You're now actually someone that fills a fucking room. You're no longer just there, trying to hide. You can actually hold conversation, talk to people. It conveys when you're on calls. It conveys when you go and try and start a business. It conveys to all of these areas. Okay. Because you build up that self-respect, you build all these skills, discipline, showing up to the gym, consistency, momentum. You learn how to actually keep showing up again and again and again. All right, these are the skills you need to start picking up right now, and where better to start than the gym. Okay, so stop trying to jump in straight saying, okay, you're going to become a millionaire entrepreneur right now, because you're not going to. Right, you're not going to if you don't check off this box first, which is fitness. Okay, you look at anyone who's successful. Look at Iman Gaji, Hamza. If you know these people, they all started with fitness. You look back on their channels. Maybe some of them still talk about fitness, but they all started with fitness. Why is it that all these like future successful people in their 20s started by building a really good physique, by taking their diet seriously? It's because fitness is the first point. Fitness first, self-improvement. That's how I think about it, all right? When you put the gym first, when you put your physique first, you build up the skills, you build the self-respect necessary to actually building the business later on, okay? And listen, respect and integrity is reflective of your character, all right? In terms of online business entrepreneurship, it's very important that you have integrity. You're not scamming people. You're not taking people's money. You also need to have respect for yourself, to walk away from deals that you don't need. Bullish desirelessness, knowing that there's more money out there that you can get. You don't need to chase. You don't need to lie. You don't need to scam. All right. And I've messed up. I've really messed up in my life before, and I've definitely disrespected people, lacked integrity, not been the person that I want to be. And that's bad. It's really bad. And during that time, I was trying other stuff too. It didn't work because I just wasn't the guy yet. And after a long time reflecting, and it's quite difficult to talk about, but I've definitely messed up before. But I've learned from that now. Okay. And I've built up over the last few months and over the last, kind of 6 months, I've built that respect for myself and also integrity in my character to be honest. All right. To actually, be transparent with people, to not fucking like do any shit behind people's backs. And because of that, it's actually allowed me to put that into my business. All right. Like, for example, I had this one client who I signed with and just randomly messaged me one day, got a bit scared, a bit anxious. I'm like, I want a refund. I want a refund. And the old me would have tried to get that money. He would have been like, no, well, actually, in our contract, it says that you can't cancel yet, and you must send the money back. Sorry, and you can't get your money back because we're in a contract. But the new me, I have integrity in my business because I have integrity for myself. I have respect for myself, and I just refunded him. It's annoying. It happens. But I just refunded him because it's not worth the stress. It's not worth, having that relationship. Maybe in the future he comes to me and like, yep, you're really chill about that. And he refers a friend and I make money that way. Okay. You need to think longer. But the only way you get to this point where you can start thinking this way, because I definitely didn't used to back in the day, is by building up that respect and integrity. You build up inside of the gym. You build your respect for yourself. When you show up for those morning runs, when you show up to the gym every single day, when you show up and track your macros, when you eat a healthy diet, all right, this is when you actually progress. This is when you actually build that respect, that integrity for yourself, and it gets reflected into your character and thereby reflected into your business, career, studies, whatever area you're entering, all right? But you need to have that respect for yourself first. You need to build up that integrity, and the only way you can do that, or the easiest way at least to build that up, is 100% through improving your physique, all right? This is how I look at it. Re-entering the game with a new avatar, all right? Imagine like let's say like you drop into a game. Let's say it's like what do they call it? Like a PvP game, and you're fighting 99 other people. Not to say Fortnite, but like something like that. And this is your avatar. This is me a few years ago. Unconfident. Well, actually, I had a bit of confidence to be fair, but not as confident as I needed to be. Skinny, shy. Would scam someone because I just needed money so badly. Was in a bad situation. I mean, I was like 13 here, so cut me some slack. But like looking at this guy, he's not winning the game. He's not winning the game. Let's say the game in this case is entrepreneurship. He's going to get cooked by the other people that have that self-respect for themselves already and have built up that level of discipline in the other areas of their life. When they go in and compete with this guy, they're going to win. So what did I do? Instead of fighting a losing battle and just getting shot straight away and losing the game, I left the game. All right. This is what I did. I gave up entrepreneurship for fitness. I got into the gym, built a physique, built a body that I'm proud of, built the mentality that I needed. And I re-entered the game with a new avatar. This is me outside the White House the other day. But listen, I re-entered the game with a new avatar. Right? I've become a different guy. And the only reason why I'm able to actually start seeing some progress, actually start having that respect for myself, is because I built it up. All right. A year and a half ago, I quit entrepreneurship and it changed my life. It improved it. I didn't give up on it. Well, I did give up on it, but I never forgot about it. And now I'm back. All right. And now I have the confidence to do it. I have the confidence that I'm going to be able to make this happen as long as I keep putting in the work consistently. All right. This video is part of my work. Why am I up at 2 a.m.? You can say it's a bad habit. Why? Well, I'm actually jet lagged because I just came back from a trip to the States, but I'm up 2 a.m. recording this video. Why? Why am I doing it? I wouldn't have done it back in the day. I would have just shrugged my shoulders and it's not that important. Well, I know it's important now because it's my only priority. Right? Fitness isn't even my priority right now. I could give a shit. I could be tracking my macros right now, but it's just not something that I want on my mind. Right now, for this season, I just want to focus on my business. I just want to focus on making these videos. I just want to focus on, actually helping people, giving advice, right? And the number one piece of advice I want to give you is that you actually need to become the person who can. Become he who can, all right? The idea behind this is you're not able to build $1 million business because you're not the guy who can do it, all right? I'm nowhere near there. It's going to take a long time to get there. But the point is, all right, you need to become the guy who can do it. You need to enter the gym, upgrade your physique, but not just the way you look, but the way that you feel. When you have a physique that you're proud of, when you actually have a commanding presence, when you walk, with some confidence, looking up, you don't look like you don't walk with your head down, you're just staring at your phone scrolling. You can actually just look straight, hold eye contact with people, approach girls, make sure that you can actually like keep evolving in your life, keep improving, keep upgrading. Those areas which before were quite difficult now become quite easy. All right, listen, it becomes quite easy because you've already built up those skills. You've already built up that skill set, which is now in your arsenal. You can use it. It's in your toolkit. You can apply it to the business. You can apply it to your studies. You can apply it to this. All right. You go to the job interview. Now you have that confidence because you built the physique. You know, if it's a good company, your employer is going to see, well, he's got a good physique. He clearly respects himself. He's definitely going to respect my business. He's definitely going to help me and actually fulfill his role. You're more likely to get hired. You're not smarter. You don't have more skills. You don't have more knowledge. You didn't spend more time in school. You just look more confident because you have the skills. All right, you actually applied this stuff. You actually went into the gym. You actually just showed up again and again and again when it was difficult and improved yourself. And now the fact that you've improved yourself allows you to make 10 times faster progress in those other areas. Okay? This is not fun. It's not a quick fix. It's not like a top 10 hacks, you know, to progress yourself further. It's going to take some time, a year minimum. It doesn't take too long to completely transform your physique. 6 to 12 months, you can look completely different. But you have to show up. One workout isn't going to let you see progress. 2 workouts, you're not going to see progress. 10 workouts, you'll see minimal progress. It's over 4 months, 6 months, 1 year, a year and a half, 2 years. That's when you become unrecognizable. That's when you genuinely just look different. You become a different person. Okay? But this only happens when you just drop the ego, drop your ambition, stop looking at your long-term goals, and actually just look at yourself right now. Am I the person who can achieve those goals? Am I? Because if you're not, chances are you just haven't evolved. You haven't upgraded to the point that you need to get to. All right. This is why my program, top link in the description, is called Upgrade, because you need to upgrade your physique to be able to upgrade those other areas of your life. Right. My relationships got better, made more progress in business, and I became a happier person once I upgraded my physique. This is the best place to start, and you must do it if you haven't already. If you're skinny right now, if you're fat right now, you're skinny fat, you're not satisfied. I'm not saying you have to become a professional bodybuilder, but you have to build up a level of strength, a level of confidence in yourself to actually be able to apply it and make those progress in other areas, which may be more important to you. Maybe you don't really give a shit about your physique. You don't want to become a bodybuilder. Neither do I. It's the best place to start, though. It's the place that you should actually start because it is the place that will make you the fastest results. You know, even though it's not a direct correlation, it kind of is, and it's something that you must do. And it's like, okay, well, I'm improving my physique, and you're going to feel resistance to it because you do just want to do the easier thing, which is just sitting down and typing some messages on your laptop, trying all these things, drop shipping, you know, DM setting and high ticket sales, whatever. You won't see results in them. You won't see progress. You'll quit, just like I did. If you haven't already checked off the box of fitness, if you haven't already built that confidence in yourself, all right? This is the place where you need to start. You need to become he who can. You have to actually use fitness as a prerequisite to success because it is. All right. You won't be able to see those results until you change your avatar, until you upgrade yourself. All right. Upgrading your physique will upgrade your life. That's what I say. That's what I say constantly. I repeat it again and again and again because it's so true. All right. Look at the successful people that you admire. All right. Even these entrepreneurs like fucking Mark Zuckerberg now, all these other people, they're in good shape. All right. What's his name? Jeff Bezos. He's in good shape too. I mean, he might be on TRT or whatever. Doesn't matter. He's in good shape. Alex Hormozy. He got jacked first, and then he made hundreds of millions of dollars. He got jacked first. He didn't make money first and then go into the gym. He focused on himself, and it's kind of selfish because don't you want to be able to take care of your family? Don't you want to be able to, you know, provide and make money for yourself? I'm sure you do, but you're not the guy who can do it yet, and it's actually more selfish for you to, you know, sacrifice your long-term progress just because you want to do this now. It's a long game, all right? It doesn't really matter whether you get successful now or in 2 years, but the truth is you won't get successful now because you're not the person who can be successful now. It's a long game. So set yourself up for success. Set yourself up to actually be able to make that progress in the long run. The best way to do it is to start with your physique. Implement a good workout plan. Get disciplined. Get consistent. Build momentum. Easy. All right. You want to know my system for building momentum? Check it out. You get it for completely free. Top link in the description. Help you implement my systems into your life. I give you my personal workout plan. I teach you how to lean bulk. I teach you how to expedite this process. Make sure you can actually go from skinny to jacked, improve your physique, upgrade your physique, completely change your life. All right. This is the best place to start. If you want to be successful, you must start with your physique, and you want my help for completely free one-on-one check out the top link in the description where I'll help you out. All right. That's all for today's video. If you learned something new, I hope this was a good one. I feel like I've kind of conveyed my points quite well today. But yeah, if you've got any questions, drop in the comments below. And if you want to see more videos like this, and actually now, maybe after you watch this video, you realize that this is the best and the only way to completely transform your life and become the guy who can get that success that you want, then subscribe to this channel, watch more videos, support my channel. It's the best thing you can do. You know, join my community, subscribe to the channel. That's all I ask. All right. Hope you enjoyed this video. Drop a thumbs up if it was helpful. And yeah, catch you in the next one. Goodbye.